The life and work of Aleijadinho.
Aleijadinho was a colonial Brazil-born sculptor and architect noted for his work on and in various churches of Brazil. Born in Vila Rica, whose name was later changed to Ouro Preto, Minas Gerais, Brazil, in 1738, sometimes said to be in 1730. He was the son of Manuel Francisco da Costa Lisboa, a Portuguese man, and his African slave, Isabel. His father, a carpenter, had immigrated to Brazil, where his skills were so in demand that he appears to have been elevated to the position of architect. When Antonio was young, his father married, and he was raised in his father's home along with his half-siblings. It was there he is presumed to have learned the fundamentals of sculpture, architecture, and the combination of the two. Antonio first appeared as a day laborer work on the Church of Our Lady of Carmel in the town of Ouro Preto, a church designed by his father.
Within a very short time, he had become a noted architect himself and had designed and constructed the chapel of the Third Order of St. Francis of Assisi, Ouro Preto. He had also executed the carving on the building, the most notable being a round bas-relief depicting St. Francis receiving the signature. In 1777, he began to hold scenes of debilitating disease, probably leprosy or probably scleroderma, and he received the name Aleijadinho. Although disfigured on the disabled, he continued sculpting with cheese and a hammer tied to his fingers' hands. Eventually, he became more and more reclusive, working mostly at the night when he did go out the public. He ought to carry through the streets in a covered palanquin by his assistants.
There is some debate as to whether Aleijadinho actually existed. The theory that Aleijadinho was a myth was proposed by Augusto de Lima Jr., who suggested that Aleijadinho was invented by Rodrigo Bretas in his book, Traços Biográficos de Antônio Francisco Lisboa. This theory relies on the notion that there were no references to Aleijadinho until this book was written. Recently published research further challenges the traditional biography of the artist. Faced with the lack of documentary evidence, the author identifies Antônio Francisco Lisboa as a poor sculptor in 18th century Vila Rica, Ouro Preto original designation, but not a victim of the deformities that would have earned him the nickname. His work, of much smaller scope than usually attributed, had to be confined to Ouro Preto and surrounding areas where he lived all of his life.
There is no evidence for his work as an architect, and even his parentage is in doubt. Instead, Guilmar de Gramont proposed the figure of a talent maker of religious imagery, a trade possibly shared with other artisans in the same workshop. In her interpretation, the Aleijadinho myth was created by the Rodrigo Bretas biography and reinforced over time by modernist intellectuals who saw in this character a symbolic founder of an indigenous Brazilian culture. Doubts about Aleijadinho's actual existence have been countered by evidence brought up by Resenger Felicidade Patrocínio, who listed over 30 documented works, including the masterpieces on which his fame was built, the 12 Apostles and the cycle of the Via Crucis at the sanctuary of Matosinhos.